loud as fuck. I'm not gonna.
Oh yeah, that's right. You do have a Switch. I forgot about that.
I do have a Switch, dude.
There is a question related to the Switch. I'm sure you can guess what it is. It's DMC related that we'll talk about.
You
Like,
can.
very
Oh, I thought you
briefly.
were gonna say
on the
yes.
Switch.
I'm perfectly comfortable bottoming from time to time.
Jesus Christ. Nah, listen, like...
No, I'm listening.
We can't start the stream off talking about bottoms and tops,
Pegging?
Vash, please. Please. I'm actively begging. It's my first day back at work, homie.
Why not, dude?
Back at work.
What's the issue, brother, man?
Well, I just wanted to keep it clean for the kids, homie. There's so many of them watching.
Well, I think, given the last joke that Vash told at GDQ, I'd say the time for that is past.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw it up on Twitter.
People are still talking about that shit.
As they should.
That's true, yeah.
As they should, dude. That's good advice.
Zero, DNC, Pro.
I should probably get
Setnaro.
the stream open.
Yeah, probably.
You get to see these fucking pecs, homie. Fucking, yeah.
Yep.
Gonna put my sunglasses on my neeps. Hold on, let me see.
Crescent Phoenix.
Podcast.
What is up?
How's my audio? Is my audio good? Is the audio good, people who are watching? Probably not.
Abe, what's up, Abe? John Chin.
Oh,
See, now when Toyomo says dad, Toyomo comes to both Vash and I streams and calls us dad. So I don't know.
He calls
who
you
they're
dad
talking
too?
to. Yeah.
Listen, it's 2020, okay? Having two dads is perfectly fucking normal, okay?
No, the
Hey.
problem is I know he has like 12 dads.
That's fair, yeah.
He'll go to fucking Chaser's chat and be like, Dad. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Well, clearly I'm not dad worthy then. Fuck, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
How much can you bench?
Probably like 2.
That's why.
Probably like 2.
Yeah, 2.
I can't bench for shit either. The fuck?
Yeah, 2 milli. 2 milli, homie.
2 milli? Too many? I can bench too many.
I can bench too many.
All of them. Okay, here we go.
I can bench several.
I could probably bench like a little.
Yeah.
Smallish bird. And Neo forgot his password. Good job, Neo.
He deserves it.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, should we officially do the start?
He said some shit that bothered me.
Who said that? What?
I think Neo called me short. You get your password revoked, bitch. Just kidding. I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yes. I'm gonna start.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Oh wait, Vash disappeared. What the fuck, Grid Fam? You son of a bitch! What the fucking shitballs?
Grid.
Hold on, wait a minute. Nobody panic. Nobody panic.
My
Hold
homie's
on.
ducking it. Did you see what you did, then, Neil? Do you see what you fucking did? Fuck.
Calling in. We're doing it live.
We are doing it live.
This isn't pre-recorded. I can confirm this is live, everyone. This isn't a video that I'm just playing.
Unfortunately not.
Unfortunately.
You have before, Toyomo. Definitely have. Hey, Venus.
What if I call Cosmic Dad too? Then you can't call me Dad. Your son calls me Mommy too.
What's up, boyo? Bowie. I almost called him boyo.
10 out of 10 professionals. It's going so well already. I love this. It's just going perfectly to plan, actually. It's good.
Mommy Vash, then. Interesting.
I'll be your mommy.
Do you think I should put the hat on, or should I put the shades on, or what do you think? Should we just do it? Should we just go ahead?
Whatever you want to do, dude.
I'm not feeling it, to be honest. You know, I want a
Nah.
6
If you put those on, then I'm gonna put my glasses on or no, my mask.
I was gonna say your glasses.
What's the
those things you're already wearing?
What's the mask? Show me the mask. Let me see the fucking mask, homie.
You already know what time it is.
Oh, the boo mask
fucking yeah, gamer.
that he was wearing
Mommy
all
goes.
GDQ. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, Drive?
Yes, sir.
Right, well,
Keeping the thoughty germs away from me. License and registration. You got a permit for that coochie, ma'am?
Oh man.
I think my head got bigger. That was actually really difficult to put on.
Yeah. Unfortunately, should I just go and get my JoJo's hat? We can just complete the weebdom here.
Yeah, fuck
Oh.
it. Why not?
Well, you got to get something because we didn't wear the fucking the cowboy hats on stream.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we
bud.
didn't. Yeah, I mean,
It's back there on the Yoshi.
yeah.
Okay,
We'll have to do that next time. Yeah, next time.
Okay, we're officially starting. Go, count me down. Someone count me down. Go, give me it.
All right, you are live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome in.
Hi everyone. Fuck. Welcome in. Hi everyone. Welcome to Run of the Millz, episode 6. Myself, Millz. I am actually on the run from the law. It's not the best place to do a podcast, but fuck it, we roll with it. I am joined by good friend, recurring guest, man of the moment, speedrunner, DECosmic.
Hello, hello.
Should I turn him up a little bit? I don't know if I can actually.
You could, I guess.
Just scream actually. Just scream every time you talk and we should be good.
Yeah, I'll just scream. Fuck it.
Yeah. And also joining me is professional commentator. He's not professional, but he sounds like it, to be fair. He does have a very good voice for it. DMC player. 6'7".
Yes, no, I'm 7'2".
Vash, the shell boy. The sexy boy.
The shell boy.
Yes.
The some bitch.
Soy boy. Yes.
The some boy. How's it going, lads? How's it going? Good?
It is going. It's going. Everything is looking fire at the moment. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, it's not a pleasure actually.
Yeah,
You just begged me. You put a gun to my head and begged me. So.
You're right. So please have me on your show. I'll do anything. I need the views. I'll never hit affiliate at this rate.
Yeah, it's a good thing I put the glasses on. I can hide my fucking tears. Anyway, yeah.
It's important.
Okay, so I guess the first question I would ask is how is AGDQ? Did you guys have fun? Was that a good time?
How
Yeah.
is AGDQ?
Yeah, how is
How
is
was, I guess, would be the proper phrasing.
I don't know. Can you go to the bathroom?
Did I really say how is instead of was?
Yeah,
Jesus
how
Christ.
is? You said how is.
The accent's so fierce he doesn't even know what he's saying anymore.
It's the meth, homie. It's the heroin. Yeah. So how was it?
It was great.
Was that a good time?
I had a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a much needed vacation. Post-con depression's hit me kind of hard.
Post-con depression. Mm.
Yeah. I mean, for those of you who've never been to one, or like GDQs for a lot of people tend to just be a place where shut-ins go to like have a normal social life for a week. Because all your friends are like actually in reach. So instead of having to hit motherfuckers up on Discord to play games, you can just go down the hall at the hotel or hop an Uber, up the street to an Airbnb, and you can be there present, hang out with the people. And
Yeah.
You have to give all that up, but it's important to note you have to travel like basically across a continent, or in some cases across the planet, to have that opportunity. So it's a little rough.
It was really cool though, getting to see like everybody that I had met on Twitch over the last like year and a half. Finally see all of them face to face and really just go, damn, Vash actually is that short.
I was about to bring that up. So Cosmic, have you noticed like everybody is so fucking short? If you ever get a chance to go to Evo, you are going to like, you fucking see all these Melee players, you see all these Street Fighter players, and you think they're giants because you see them on fucking cam and they look like these Adonises. Not really, but they look like sizable people. And you're fucking a manlet by definition, but these motherfuckers are reaching below eye level in some cases.
Yeah. I mean,
it's eye-opening.
Like Maxi is like an inch like shorter than me, or like my height, and I'm like kind of average, if not maybe below average height.
How
Like,
tall are you?
I think I might be like 5'7" or something. I haven't measured myself in a while. Like 5'7", maybe 5'8". Like it's whatever, But no, I wouldn't call myself tall, like by any stretch of the imagination.
I mean, I would no.
Yeah, but waifu is like the exception though, because waifu is legitimately like 6 foot or something. That dude is tall.
He's not that much taller than me.
Oh, he's tall.
No.
He's tall. He's the type of dude you would see like when you see somebody on the Evo screen, like that's kind of how tall you think they are.
He like, definitely can't cook fried rice though.
Oh, definitely not.
He cannot cook fried rice at all.
Oh, did he make you like an awful meal? Like what happened?
No. So okay, this was before we even went to AGDQ. This motherfucker throws up a prep cooking stream, and he's making, what was it, fucking chicken fried rice with shrimp, or it was shrimp
or chicken.
It was some fucking thing. This man boils so much goddamn rice. He loads up this wok, big fucking wok for scale, loads it to the max. He needs a shovel to flip this shit. Rice on the bottom, it's burning. He fucks everything up. How much garlic did he use in the mix? 0. A fucking goose egg. No flavor in it at all.
And he's just like, oh yeah, it tastes fine. We were just like,
he cooks shrimp, thankfully in a separate pot. So this he does it in a separate pot, right? But he burns the shrimp into his pan twice.
Oh yeah.
He fucking gets the shit out. He goes over, and of course he's fucking hand camming it on his phone, so he's doing everything one hand style. Takes the shit over to the sink. I'm amazed he didn't start a fire, but he plated everything up because I guess he's starting to bulk. Or I guess, which I mean, good for him.
Yeah, he's got to gain some weight. He's way too thick. He's way too skinny.
I mean, I don't know how that would affect his skating because he does skate. So
I saw that. But I saw that he was fucking skating. It was pretty cool.
We need to get that man on Overcooked.
I need to get that man a fucking jar of minced garlic. Because I couldn't tell you what he didn't. I don't even think he put onions in it. I couldn't tell you. He fucking just tossed a block of butter in the fucking wok after everything on top was cold. And I'm shook because there's no way the whole fucking thing melted in time.
No.
So at some point during the week he just took a bite and it was just raw fucking fat right in.
Yeah, probably.
There's no way on earth.
Yeah.
Well,
it's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's making me hungry.
Well, he's a good dude. He's a good dude.
Oh, he's an excellent person. I got a chance. So I do regret meeting him and his girlfriend when I was.
Oh, that was funny as shit, dude. Oh my god. So for let me paint the picture here, okay? So So I'm like chilling with waifu and his girlfriend Shay, and Vash comes up, and I'm like, "Yo, Vash, what's up?" And he's just like, "Hey, man," and then he says, "Oh, hey, waifu," and then he turns to waifu's girlfriend and takes her hand like this, and he's like, "What's your name?" And she's like, "Shay," and he's like, "Shay, it's an honor to meet you, honey. My name is Vash." He's got the freaking
dude. When I shake people's hands, I bow. I always hit them with the 1-2 punch. That's just the thing I do with everybody forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I was definitely apologizing because I came from a friend's hotel room, and we were watching hentai and passing around fucking drinks. So it was a great time because I needed to be there for my friend's run. He was the one doing Outer Worlds.
Oh, sure.
So, yeah, and we were all in Hawaiian t-shirts. I didn't have my glasses on that day because I just
because you weren't trying to see nobody.
I wasn't trying to see nobody that day.
Nobody.
It's honest. So if anybody ever goes to a con or like an event like that, get yourself weeb face mask, sunglasses, combo indoors. You're gonna look like a prick. Guess who's gonna talk to you? Nobody.
That's true.
Nobody's going to recognize you. It's beautiful. You're basically invincible.
It's basically like the sequel to Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's hentai and weeb masks in Orlando.
I'm happy I don't have an Akigao shirt.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Man, you'd have been that would have just completed the package. That's just the trifecta there.
I should have brought my futa hat.
You should have. Yeah, that would have been that's pretty good. That would have been funny.
Wear
that on stream too. Yeah, just complete the picture. Yeah, definitely.
Dude, if I ever start playing poker, I'm gonna wear that futa hat on top, sunglasses that aren't my prescription, weeb mask. What do I got?
And you got to leave the UV protection sticker on there too, of course.
Everybody got so upset about that. I can't see through them anyway.
So funny.
It doesn't fucking matter. I can't see out of them.
So yeah. It was nice to see the picture of you guys and setting ROX. That was nice. I liked that. It was very wholesome.
It was good. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was cool as shit to see everybody. It really the pictures tell the story better of how much taller everybody is than me. But that's what are you gonna fucking do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Get stilts?
It was an awesome time. It was pretty much just like a whole week where I just didn't have to like worry about shit and like could just go and I went to the practice room every day, did a run, saw like people. There was even one day where I watched like Starwind teach Eternal Enigma like Homecoming. It was Silent Hill Homecoming. I watched them until like 3 a.m. Just like learn to clip through a wall by aiming a gun properly. Where like Silent Hill Homecoming has this weird thing where if you like strafe and then aim the gun, it pulls you into the wall, and then if you like adjust the camera, you can just clip through entire walls. And it was just like I was just watching that shit at like 1 a.m, and it was just like the coolest shit,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird it's a weird feeling to describe seeing all of that, like such a nomadic hobby all in one location.
Was it your first time there, Cosmic? AGDQ?
Yeah, it was.
Was it what you imagined it would be, or was it better?
Yeah. It was. I mean, it was pretty much that, and maybe a little bit more. But I do not regret going at all. I really want to go to like as many events as possible now.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You got that. Once you get the first one out of the way, I imagine it's just like addiction. Just want to do it again and again.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gonna like submit stuff for upcoming events?
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, first and foremost on the list were DMC4 and Killer is Dead. Those were like the big two that I was gonna prep for the event. And then we'll see what else I can work on from there. But those were the big two that I was gonna submit.
It was kind of humorous seeing Vash praise the game during the run in contrast to Vash when he's streaming by himself. Yeah.
I don't understand why so many people are surprised by that.
Yeah, I don't think it was surprising.
Like real talk. It wasn't like, oh man, dude, fucking boy, no inertia, man. This shit's popping. No, it was just when like I liked the game and the stuff we talked about that I said was cool. I think is cool. It's just you get me on my bullshit, start talking about reversals and stuff.
Yeah. No, I think
it's
I don't hate the game. I never have.
It's different in an environment where you're basically prompted to say what like your displeasures with the game are versus an environment like this where your role was to provide information about the game and what was good about it.
Yeah, it's positive vibes all around.
Yeah. There's a time and a place.
At least it should be.
Yeah. No, I think you did very well.
I mean, like Mecha Mike said, the joke you told, like inertia's in the game, haha. Like, there's obviously time for banter like that. I mean, it's all in healthy doses,
But like, can you imagine if he had just like started saying, so there's this game mechanic, it didn't make it in, like, you'd end up distracting the run out. You shouldn't really be surprised at that shit.
At the same time, you'd have so many people in the audience who are like, "What the fuck is he talking about?"
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you really have to realize that so many people who are watching the game have never seen any Devil May Cry game before, period. So you got to be cognizant of like, how many people was it? Like 100 some odd thousand?
It was like 125 on Twitch, and then probably like a couple hundred behind us. So that's a lot of people.
You got to be aware of it. What can I say?
You got to know your audience.
Consider the YouTube views too. Yeah, like if Vash had done that shit, you were speaking to like 100 people at most, and it's pretty much like preaching to the crowd. So it's not very surprising that he kept those vibes positive. Yeah, he did do a good job. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like, speaking of that, like, I do just want to say, like, I think that this is bar none the best a couch has been for a Devil May Cry run at a GDQ. Like, absolutely bar none. Like, it had 3 people on the couch that were like known for DMC content. It had Maxi for DMC1, world record holder, Waifu, who's 3rd in the world, overall across all ports for DMC3, and we had Vash, who's known for his style play, and then we have me, who's known pretty much for just speedrunning the series, like playing the game. So compare that to before, like, for Maxi's first DMC1 run, it was like you, Vash, and then like Carsey and somebody else. and you were about the only one on there that knew anything about the series, really.
Yeah,
like
but
you didn't know anything about 1.
No, hell no. I didn't know
Yeah,
anything. Like, they were talking about twirling the stick to cancel slashes. I'm like, dude, wacky.
Yeah, like what exactly? Yeah, and then like waifu's run for DMC3, like it had Eternal Enigma, Wolf DNC, and I want to say Maxi. And like Maxi is a very good color commentator.
Yeah.
And he does know his lore. It's just that he needs other people to fill in those roles that are vacant, on those couches that he's on. And when you have somebody that's very good at color commentary and lore like that, you need somebody that's informational, or you need like a main person that's informational and then a person that's supplemental information. And Vash took on the role of like main information plus, some comic relief and everything. And then Waifu had like some lore, some information, some color. So he's kind of like Waifu was kind of like the jack of all trades here, just like filling in the empty spaces, kind of picking up like where Vash is leaving off. Maxi's like filling in the gaps like where Waifu's leaving off. It was very like there was a lot of synergy there for like us just kind of winging it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Do you feel like the stream would have went, not worse, don't want to say worse. Do you feel like Vash like sort of helped you feel more comfortable because you saw how good of a job he was doing?
I think I told multiple people that Vash saved my ass this weekend or that weekend. Because if I had to do all that commentary like pretty much by myself, I probably would have just been fucking lost. So I think I made like the perfect choice in having Vash on, because especially when he told me, dude, I'm like, when somebody told me Vash is watching your run on stream and he's taking notes, and then Vash is like, yeah, I got like 6 pages of notes here, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It was like oh, he came to play, and then once you got into it, I was just like, okay, everybody's got my back. I can just focus on what I need to do.
Exactly. There's a like, it would have been one thing if I'd have just gone in knowing like how to play 5 in the way that I knew how to play 5. But when we start talking about how we're routing around purchases, how we need to really maximize when we get our no damage bonuses at the end of missions, shit like that, that's stuff that doesn't even occur to somebody who exclusively works in like new game plus territory, because we don't even think about routing, we don't think about skips, we don't think about shit like that. So you owe it to everybody to sit down and really learn the different way to approach the game entirely.
Yeah. And like Waifu knew some stuff because he was learning the run anyway. He was in the process of it, but
now he's learning.
Yeah, now he's learning. He was
now
like
he's grinding.
He was watching me though, like during the weeks and months leading up to GDQ. It's just that like he didn't really sit down with it in the same capacity that you did. And I mean, Maxi just wanted to come up there and show, which I mean, like I said, everybody on a desk or a couch kind of has a role. You can't have 3 informational dudes, then there's no synergy. If everybody wants to like pop off about the routing and everything, there's no room for anything else to happen. It's just like you're reading off of an encyclopedia, and that's not really like what a GDQ run should be. Yeah, it was a perfect mix, like Asa just said.
So, when you were picking your couch, did you ask Vash before, like way before the event? Like how long before the event did you ask him to be on the couch?
I don't actually remember.
How long was it? It was.
I think it might have been as soon as I got in. I was like, "Yo, do you want to do this?" And then you just confirmed, like, "Yeah, I'm gonna actually be there if you'll still have me." Yeah. And I was like, "Motherfucker, you were already there." So.
So he was the first person you asked?
No, I actually confirmed that Waifu and Maxi were going to be on my couch first, because the day that Maxi and I got accepted into the event, he hit me up and asked me about like my incentives and stuff that I had gotten in or anything, and I was just like, "Well, I don't do any yet." And then we were just talking about stuff, and he was like, "So are Waifu and I the couch?" And I was just like, "You know what? Sure, I think that would be a good fit." So then I think that the only other person that came to mind really was Vash, as far as who I was going to ask. Because there's like the Venn diagram of like people that would be willing to do commentary, people that are going to be a GDQ, people that know DMC, and Vash was pretty much in all three of those. So I was like, yeah, I don't think there's really much of a case to make otherwise.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I don't want to see it. Like, I know I'm like stroking your dick like massively right now, but you did an awesome job, dude, and I want you to know that.
I didn't say stop. No. No, I really did appreciate the opportunity. Like, it felt, like I said on Twitter, it felt right to use my knowledge, and also just for something that I really cared about. And my current expertise, or not my expertise, but just my skill set in voiceover, to take it in the commentary route, it worked out. So it was really just, it's where I should have been.
Yeah. And like when you said it felt right, like I couldn't have worded it better, because it was like, and somebody even commented, like a couple of people commented to me that like the couch synergy was really good, but they were like that the banter that the two of us had, like a lot of people apparently enjoyed. So
it was great. It was, yeah, I mean, you guys synergized pretty perfectly, but it's not the first time that you two have been together at an event.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It helps that we are able to appear in each other's chats, throw some shit back and forth, get the vibe.
Yeah.
Because to tell you the truth, if I had been on couch for Maxi, for example, it would have gone completely differently, because I don't watch a lot of Maxi streams. Same thing with Waifu. That's not because I don't like Waifu. I don't watch because I don't want fucking Resident Evil 2 spoilers. That man, and he's also doing fucking marathons every night of his life. Bless up and down, brother. Papa Lunesta.
Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Brain fart. Fuck it. Okay, so Cosmic, you landed in Florida like a week before the event, like 5 days. Like, how long before was it again?
Well, it was a day before the event, but it was like 5 days before my run or something like that.
Ah, yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so what was the sort of like rehearsal plan like once you got there? You just, as soon as you got there, you went into the practice room, started grinding, or like?
Well, I went in there the first day, and my friend Brandon came with me. He's a Skies of Arcadia runner, and he had wanted to go to AGDQ for a while. So I was like, "Yo, do you want to go?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So we went down there, and we like met some people, and then we headed into the practice. Well, I don't remember if we headed into the practice room immediately, because I remember like going to find Raichu, who was the guy that ran MGS3, because he was rooming with us. He's a funny motherfucker. He's from Ireland.
Yeah.
But there was eventually, like, when we saw people, I think I saw like Maxi, I saw Waifu eventually. But like the day that I went into the practice room, like it was just to like kind of see what hardware I was dealing with, download the game onto the computer, do a practice run, and I was just like, this shit is beefy. Like, those computers were something else.
Wasn't it like Alienware or some shit?
Yeah, it was Alienware. It was like, holy crap. Like, I timed the loads going in, like when I would hit new game and go into prologue, in the time it took for 2 loading screens to pass, plus me skipping the first cutscene and gain control of Nero, it was 15 seconds.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure that those machines probably had like 6 minutes of loads on them, if that. But like, that was why at some point during the week I actually came and I started timing some of my runs. That was why eventually I came to the GDQ staff and I was like, I need my estimate, because I'm dealing with some like actually good hardware here compared to what I'm doing at home. But the idea was pretty much to like touch down, get a practice run in, get food, see some people. That was kind of the plan for the first day. And my plan leading up to the run was pretty much just relax, like chill with people, practice every day. Just kind of have a good time, watch the event, just kind of enjoy being out there.
Enjoy the vibes.
Yeah, enjoy the vibes.
Yeah, no, that's No, I'm glad that you enjoyed said vibes. Kind of jealous. I wish I could go. Wish I was American. You know, it sucks being on the fucking edge of the universe like this. It's fucking bullshit. So
can't you go to ESA?
I mean, probably, yeah, but do I really wanna...
But I mean, all the cool kids are here, dude.
Yeah, exactly. You know, do I really want to go to see Mecca? Do I really want to do that?
Wow, rip.
Definitely not.
You could go to see Froob.
Yeah.
And Tech Theist. Yeah.
I mean, Tech Theist is a good guy. I like him. I mean, I like Mecca too. I was only memeing. He's a nice man.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so next question. It's about nerves. Probably a stupid question, but
Oh boy.
yeah. So I'm assuming there was nerves on touchdown as soon as you landed in Florida. You were feeling it a little bit.
Oh, as far as like, well, I didn't really feel the nerves until like the day of, really. Because like I was just kind of vibing, you know. So like when you're sort of in the moment, you're just enjoying the event that's around you, and like my practice was going well, so I was just like, all right, cool, you know, just chilling, having a good time. I didn't. My idea was to not let the run sort of hang over my head during the course of the week.
And that's a very smart way to approach it, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it was like, because I said to myself, like, just keep fresh every day, do one run. Don't like sit there in the practice room for hours and hours and hours and hours and grind it out. Just go in there, keep fresh. And I alternated between difficulties too. I didn't just practice human all week, and I didn't just practice Devil Hunter all week. So I just went in there. Like I would wake up. I would pretty much just wake up, chug a Red Bull, go to the venue,
beat up your dad,
beat up my dad, get some wings, you know. Do a practice run, and then just enjoy the rest of the day.
I mean, yes. I mean, you handled that shit much better than I could have. I would have just been shaking in my bedroom the entire time, just, you know, flipping out.
Dude, fucking the day of the run, I had to go to Walgreens and buy some some relaxation medication, like some anti-stress medication.
Yeah.
So that like, and it was like 7 hours before the run. I had to take like 2 of them, dissolve them under my tongue, you know, as per the instructions.
I think we talked about that, didn't we?
I think so. Yeah. Just to like untie the knot that was in my stomach. And then like an hour before the run, I took another. You know, and then I still felt nerves. Like,
fuck yeah.
Well, but it was like at the very start of the run, like that was when I felt the nerves. And you could tell.
Yeah, there were a couple of missed no damage runs, and I was looking. I was like, oh, okay. So this is how we're looking at things. And you could probably speak to this much better than I could. I think when it comes to shit like that for GDQ runs, you almost have to treat it like a below average no reset run is what the standard you should set the quality of yourself to, because you know you don't want to go in and be like, okay, I'm gonna hit all of this shit the first try, because everybody wants that. Like those are Headstrong's, what was it, Jack 1 run or some shit like that was just crazy, like a once in a lifetime opportunity to show off your game at the best it can be. And it's really it's unfair to yourself to expect that out of you. So it's important to, you know, give yourself that swing time. And like Cosmic and then Asa in chat reiterated, it's like if you're later in the week, you're there to relax. So if all you're doing is like, man, I got this run on this big stage, cute girls might be watching, you're gonna fucking hate every second you're not practicing. And it's all gonna go to shit anyway because you can't prepare yourself for it.
The thing is that I think that I'm sort of fortunate in that I've been with this game kind of since the start of the routing. So like when a speed game is new, PBs are pretty much free money. So resetting all the time just isn't worth it. So for the last like 10 months, you know, a lot of the runs that I've done have been no resets, because it's like we don't know how fast this game can truly be. We have no idea. It's brand fucking new. Like, so my goal going in was like every time I would do like find a new strat, I would do no resets with the strat in it, you know? And like, so above all else, I wanted to establish a level of consistency in myself where if I didn't hit everything the first time, I knew how to make up for it in one way or another with game knowledge alone.
Yeah.
You know, because I think that DMC as a series, in terms of new games runs, it really heavily rewards game knowledge in terms of consistency and in terms of like backup strats and stuff. So the more you know about the game and the more you run it on a take what you can get basis, the more you're going to like eventually up the level at which you're performing all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
because like everybody wants to see the big PB, but like if you look at a lot of my submissions to the board, it's like I cut 2 minutes off, I cut another 2 minutes off, I cut another 2 minutes off, I cut another 2 minutes off, I cut a minute off, I cut another 2 minutes off. That's pretty much what it is. Like it was just a steady grind of like getting everything down, and because everybody falls into the trap of like early game, you never practice late game. But I think that like I can speak to my late game for this run is really strong. I think that my late game performance for this game is really strong.
I have a
because of that.
Sorry. I will. Go on.
While we're waiting for that, I really wanted to emphasize how lucky we were that Virgil didn't DQ.
Oh yeah, that's
with
true.
you, because that would have taken the sales out of a lot. But you know, at the same time, that's the type of wrinkle that nobody ever really gets to see in that environment. Is like, oh, I drop the cash, boom, and Virgil just goes, and you just get schmicked on it. So,
the energy was real high at that point too. Like,
oh yeah, it was so good.
And the fact that like he just gave me that, like at the very end, like Vash is just like 401k empty, and I'm like, yo, bro, I appreciate the good luck, you know, like it was just like bam, 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 you know.
Okay, I'm gonna ask that question from Drive. For me and Vash, both of you being style players, what is your perspective on DMC being a speedrun game lately? You want to go first, Vash, while I use my tiny pea brain to think about it?
I actually spoke to a number of people about this. I think I talked to you, Cosmic, about it quite a bit when we were in the practice room. Like, obviously, I think it's wonderful. Like, everybody should have the ability to dedicate themselves to any game they want to play and play it however they want to. And as long as they see growth in it and they enjoy their time with it, that's beautiful. For me personally, I feel like there's too much like internal elitism to a degree among style players, to an extent where people have this fantastical idea of the DMC3 SS run tasks, and they see like this beautiful mix of efficiency, high execution gameplay, and shit that just looks cool by choice, without ever really thinking about the kind of effort that would be needed to get those tricks executed consistently in a real-time environment. Like, and you and I talked about this quite a bit, Cosmic, of like what it would mean if people were to start doing DMD runs, for example, on DMC5 with just fucking giant walking health bars, not giving a shit. Like, it becomes a point to where it's not fun. And like the big divide, I think, is if there's a way to make the efficiency sort of look cool or be personable, but you know, you also have to be willing to give games time. You know, because I remember there were, I don't remember the name, and I assume he's from China, but there was some Nero player who did like early game or like the early stages of Bloody Palace, and he wasn't like, he was just going for raw efficiency, but the way he went about it, of like pulling all scarecrows in, doing a fucking EX level 3 shuffle, clearing them out, like just the way he went about that systemically was something that looked cool. But, you know, at the same time, looking at Cosmic's run or looking at anybody's speed run, And, you know, trying to demand that when the goals are so different, to me, comes across as pretty unfair. I don't know, but I've always been sort of a live and let live hippie with everything, even the reboot. You know, I'm like, hey, if you like playing it, you're welcome in my dojo.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like style play and speedruns are like two sides of the same coin. Like it is all high level play for DMC, and like both sides of it just get like equally looked down upon by a lot of members of like a lot of like less involved members of the community, like you saw on the Reddit with like, you know, like Cosmic doing like that in front of that many people and advancing the game like that. And then you just have guys in the subreddit that's just like, but you know, it was on the easiest difficulty, fucking get good. This doesn't look good. How is he getting S ranks? And it's just like, it's the same shit that style players get, you know, it's like, it's like.
I mean, the truth is that none of those knuckle dragging chimps ever wanted the Devil Hunter run to get through. Ever.
Yeah.
You didn't want that run through. Because I thought the same thing first. I was like, maybe you want to give it a bit more time to show off some more shit. No, I saw the difference between the Devil Hunter and the human run multiple times. I
would have sucked Devil Hunter, didn't you?
I would have sucked so many dicks if it meant human would have been the difficulty. Thankfully, I didn't have to. But like, I don't know.
I was very happy to play human instead of Devil Hunter, honestly.
Yeah.
Human is, there's like the combat sections are snappier, the orb route at the beginning's tighter. The whole thing just goes by much quicker. There's no like suicide strats or anything. It's just a healthier like it's a healthier category to do in the long term. For something like kind of 4 and backward, it makes sense to do like normal, you know, as the default. Because like on human, I think like for 4, don't they even take out some of the more powerful enemies for like human? Like,
Yeah,
that's a good question.
Don't they take out like some of the gold Angelos on some fights or something?
I can't remember.
Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me, but it also, I don't know. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean the thing, like the difference between the spawns in human and Devil Hunter is like, yeah. So there you go. Terror just said enemy layouts become very diluted, and I think the difference here is that in 5, they either have the same wave with less health on human, or they have like one lesser enemy is just taken out of the mix. So the main threat is still there. It's just they're gonna die a little bit faster, and you know, like, so you have to be quicker. Like that's just really how it is. Similarly, I think in 5, there's nothing as mechanically demanding as something like distortion or just frame straight, like in 4 or like Royal Guard in 3. So like on human so like let's say you're fighting Savior on human and you don't have to do, or you're fighting anything in human on 4, you don't have to do just frame straights anymore. So you could make the argument like having to do just frame straights, like not having to do that at all just makes the run less interesting, you know, if you were playing on human, even though it would be like technically a faster run.
I think like just to summarize on the question, like I love the DMC speedruns and the community. Like I love them all. But it's the same as style play where it just isn't as appreciated as it should be. That's how I feel about it. But I mean there's fucking no way to change that, so you just have to get used to it. I think I honestly feel like the speedrunning side of things is easier appreciated. Not because there's less things to understand, but because there's an actual goal. Whereas style play, you know, it is subjective. So it's just like it's two mediums that will never be as appreciated as they should. But you know, although
I am interested to hear Cosmic's take on this because he is a bit more known, and he is more knowing of the speedrunning community for it. Do people actively play favorites in speedrunning? to people be like, oh, you're not as cool as Cosmic. Go fuck yourself. You're not pushing the game hard enough. You're not pushing the game fast enough. You're going for the pussy shit. You're going for the easy strats right now. Because
are you talking about in DMC or just speedrunning in general?
Oh, in DMC, because with style players, like obviously there's the big examples of like people, you know, standing dongery, for example, or people will always be compared to just, you know, pick your favorite player blank. If you're a Virgil player, you're always going to be compared in some way to Martin G and 4, you know, just shit like that. But is there ever, when stuff like that happens, people come through with the, well, there's a personal, you know, there's a personality to your gameplay. People have to make their own decisions about what tech they do learn, what they don't, what they're comfortable with. Is there a voice like that in speedrunning for Devil May Cry, or is it when people come down on somebody, it's just, hey, your time ain't good enough, homie. It sucks to suck.
I mean, the way that I've approached like cultivating the community is that like whether or not you're going for not last place or whether or not you're going for world record, you're still a part of the community. And if you want help, then we can help you. So it's like, it really comes down to, I guess, whether or not how somebody carries themselves. Because like the perfect example of this is a guy that was around during the beginning of DMC5 speedrunning named Criminal. And this is when DMC was ran in real time. So obviously things could be decided by hardware alone. So Criminal came along when I think I might have had world record for New Game Plus, which was like, you know, shit at the time, or Mecha had it. It was one of us. And then Criminal came along and got world record first try, like casually doing the run because his loads were like 10, 12 minutes faster than ours or whatever the fuck, you know. And
Dude, my cat.
So the problem wasn't that he beat us, it was that he was a dick about it. And he refused to acknowledge, like, you know, hey, this kind of sucks. Like, if he had come along and he had beaten everybody and he'd have been like, man, this is kind of not cool. Like, I have world record right now, but like, we should really look into getting LRT soon, you know, or whatever. Because up until that point, all of us were just friends, and we were all aware that loads were making a difference. We were like, okay, whatever. We were just kind of playing the game, trying to get better at it. And then Criminal comes along and he's like a total dick about this. And so eventually all of us were like, go fuck yourself, you know? And at the time he had world record. So you would think that all of us would be like, oh, that's the world record guy. We should respect his play. But really all we were just like, we respect your Nero, but go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Wasn't he also a racist?
Like, yeah, he was also a racist.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That we found out later. We found that out later. But it was like, it's really like, it really all comes down to how you carry yourself. So if you're like spouting off at the mouth about this, that, or the other, saying shit that is like just totally incorrect, then it's like, well, maybe you should look at what you're doing in the game and see like this is not actually faster, you know, or whatever. But if you're just like, if you're somebody that, like, let's say you came along and you posted something that you thought might be faster and you were like last place on the leaderboard, we wouldn't just be like, what the fuck are you doing? This isn't faster. We would just explain like, hey, this is why this is faster. We might have tested this already, or hey, let's take another look at this. Why don't we just test it just because, you know? And this is why I really like having Sony Vegas, because I can do side-by-sides in that program and show people like, you know, this is why this is like, you can show them in real time, this X strat is faster. So I've kind of tried to cultivate this atmosphere of let's learn before we speak, you know, type of deal, where it's like, we all started from somewhere. We were all shit at some point. So if we treat everybody like, yeah, you're shit, then they're not going to stick around. And we don't have the luxury like Dark Souls does, or like Zelda does, or like Mario does, where the world basically tells those types of speedrunners, what you're doing is more important than the rest of the communities anyway. So just keep doing what you're doing, you know. And those communities experience a shit ton of elitism because of shit like that. But communities like us, we have to pull in people. We have to be appealing in some way. And if somebody is just like, I really like DMC, why should I run it? then you have to break it down for them. You can't just be like, watch the world record, dumbass. Like, you know. So it's like when the onus is basically on you to come and build your own community, it really changes the way that you see how you engage with other people that are in even a hobby that's got an objective measure of success.
I respect the shit out of that. All right. Fuck yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
I'd also say, Cosmic, that you have done a very good job of that building said community. I know it wasn't just you, but it feels like you were sort of the pioneer. Not the pioneer, the sort of driving force behind it. Like
I would say that. Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
For the DMC5 runs. I mean, but like, yeah,
I would
go on.
I would say that the community was very like splintered until like Loner Hero and came around. And Loner is somebody that really leads by example, I think. Loner Hero is not somebody that, like, he's not a moderator for any of the games. Well, he recently became a moderator for four, I think, kind of hesitantly. But he's somebody that just, like, will share information. He'll teach people about the runs. But is he really going to, like, go out there and scout for people? Not really, no. Like, but that's not really his role. That's not how he sees himself. I'm the person that's like going to also teach you, but I'm also going to go and like try and find people that want to do the run. Like the first couple of weeks of DMC5, when the leaderboards got unlocked, I was like every now and again going through Twitch to see if anybody had like splits on their thumbnail, you know, for their stream. And so it was like together with the both of us, and then like later Tech Theist came in and was like bringing people in. Along with like the other runners that we had, things got a lot more unified, and especially with like Loner and I kind of branching out into other games prior to DMC5. Like he was really involved in 3 and 4, and I was involved in DMC1. So there was a lot of like cross-pollination that happened and kind of made things a little bit more of like a unified front. Whereas before, everybody just kind of kept to their own games, and there was a lot of just like the left brain doesn't really know what the right brain's doing type stuff. So as a result, the reboot community is incredibly like divided from the rest of us as a result of this. But I mostly blame that on their super mod because he's an idiot that doesn't know how to run a board. But you know, whatever. That's not really my call to make, I guess. Fucking Vash is just petting the cat.
Yeah, the fourth guest. What's his name?
His name is Shadow.
Shadow. Nice. Ah, of course. Yeah, nice.
Good choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, his full name is Shadow Cat.
Oh, word.
Because it's my favorite mech and mech warrior.
So,
word.
Vash, see what Cosmic's saying here about him having the role of like scouting out, helping to teach people. Like, do you think that's something our side of like the high level coin is missing? Do you think like
I think we do. Well, okay, clarity. I don't do that shit. Because I don't fucking feel comfortable teaching anybody. But I remember when I first started playing, Chaser was the person who came into my stream, and he was the person who showed me how, like, it was Chaser, Tarutus, DK, and a couple of other mystery people that escape me at the moment. But they sat and fucking just bore with me while I fucking beat my head against doing a reverse backslide for like 2 hours. And every time I would get one, I was like, oh, that's how you do it. I had no fucking idea what I did correctly. So I would fuck it up the next time. When I finally got it right, it's like, okay, we're on to something here. But, you know, I imagine that they like, and by they, I mean people in like Jimmy's Discord, you know, as individuals will just like, hey, I wonder who the fuck's streaming DMC right now. Because that's really the only way to find people as they're coming in to see if they're even interested in training the game at all. Because the other way that you would find new people is if they practice and train on their own, and then they post a video up on YouTube or Nico. I remember I found a couple of people. Of course, if I had a fucking nickel for everybody who just came on the scene and named themselves Dante and then a string of numbers, I'd be able to take me and my girl out to Korean barbecue every night. But like you just run into these random people and they just come out and they have, you know, like their own set style and or whatever. But, you know, I guess we could start scouting, but part of me also wonders if that misses the point. Because it's, you know, it's, to me, it's always something that I got into DMC because it was something that I wanted to try and I liked playing the game anyway. If you know, if you run into someone and be like, hey buddy, do you know how to jump cancel yet? Let me see them star raves, bucko. Then, you know, you run the risk of running people away more so than bringing them in. So to me, I always had a lot more value in things that were just like pursued naturally. So
yeah.
Anyway,
I guess
go on.
For me, it's like, you know, I don't come up to people like, yo, bro, do you know how to no damage mission 1 through 3 yet?
Let me see that university skip.
Let me see university skip, bro. Like, for me, it's like, oh, hey, did you know that there's a Discord? Are you like trying to do a lot of these runs, or are you doing this like just like as a one-off thing? Like, I kind of try to gauge what their interest is and then go from there.
I think, you know, maybe there's potential there. Like, with what I did, like, obviously, I went to the subreddit and suggested they made changes, and they sort of, like, cancelled out a lot of the shit posting. Or they're gonna. We'll see how it goes. Which could lead to some stuff, but part of me thinks that, like, the people who really want it will make themselves known, and you can't force it upon people, so it's whatever. Like...
No, and some of the best fucking players are people who you just don't know about unless you like speak to them directly. Tarutus doesn't fucking post gameplay. He just don't. But when he streamed, that shit was sick.
Yeah.
Whirling's like one of the sleeper hits. And you get people like that though, and it's okay. You know, it's you don't always play just for, you know, the streamer aspect of it. You know, that's also, you know, it's more of a hobby than anything.
But this is what I was coming back to with like why I called it a hobby that has an objective measure of success. Style play is more abstract than speedrunning in terms of what success equals. So like if you go faster, you will naturally get more attention than someone who does not. So you can have someone like Whirling is super sick, but because Whirling doesn't really put himself out there like that, he doesn't get as much attention. But like if you submitted like a time that was like 3rd place and you came out of fucking nowhere, just that one run, you know, is gonna be like put people like, yo, who is this guy? Like, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move it on because time is running away from us. I was only gonna keep it for like an hour's worth, but
now we got an hour.
Why the fuck did you have me on the show?
I know, man. That was just a silly decision. Nah, I'm joking.
I don't shut the fuck up, dude.
No, listen, that's all part of the plan, homie. Okay, last question, and then I'll move on to the submitted questions, which is some good stuff. Okay, the question I have for Vash is Muscle Memories. When's it coming back? I know it's on hiatus. When is it coming back, homie? Need the competition.
If it ever comes back, it's not going to be like it used to be. With a lot of the work that I've done professionally for the radio station I work at, it's been sort of eye-opening as to like, oh, there's a need for a degree of almost quality control with the final product, as far as at least what I'm comfortable putting out. Because there were a lot of episodes that I put out and they're just like so fucking long, and they didn't really serve a purpose for being that lengthy. The vision that I had for Muscle Memory starting out was to use that as sort of like a fact-checking bank. Because what I wanted to do was turn the interviews into short form documentaries, like about a player. Like, let's say I wanted to, you know, do a video about how Chaser approaches the game, or just get his perspective on something that's, you know, digestible and actually useful and re-referenceable for people who want to like use it to learn. It's important to have like, hey, if you enjoyed this, you might find something in here more that's more geared towards what you need than what I chose as the editor. So you can then go to this archive of sorts, reference it, listen to it in full. I know it's fucking long, can't fix that, but you can take it and you can first off and make sure that I didn't take anything out of context. So that's just like a way of maintaining legitimacy, but also just a way of getting a little bit more out of that. Fuck, what was the name of it? My apologies. I forgot what I was, but just like there's something more for people who need the excess length. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, but yeah.
If I were to bring it back, I would want to have it be like, hey, here's how here's like a video on how, like, we just had Frosty Fostings this week. I want to talk about how Peppery Splash approaches transitioning from, like, how just Peppery Splash approaches Venom, and how he plays that character, because I don't see a lot of Venoms played the way Peppery does. So I want to like interview him, get his perspective on things, turn that into like a short video, nothing too extreme, but the whole interview, because I like, as an interviewer, and Millz, you know this yourself, you never fucking know what you're going to get out of somebody. You may have an idea, but ideally the conversations you're going to have, like the one I had with Set in a Row, are, they're gonna start with a couple of questions, and you're gonna hopefully have like a route to go through shit, but you're gonna look at the clock and fucking 3 hours have passed, and you're like, oh wait, somebody has to listen to this, and hopefully they're gonna want to share it around. So there's a lot that if I do bring it back that I want to retool it, but it's definitely not out of the question, but I think I would need to be more financially solvent than I am right now.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, like, the whole, like, thing about quality control, like, I'm happy to just let something rant on a little bit. Like, if you look at the other episodes, the previous episodes, like, the first one was 2 hours, next one was 2.5 hours, 3 hours, like, it procedurally gets longer and longer. Like, I'm happy to just fucking rant on and get people that come on that rant on, but, like, no, I definitely see the perspective of, like, a quality control thing. That would be fucking sick. Also, Teru's and the fucking chat leaking stuff that they can't talk about. Don't know if you saw that comment, Vash. Did you see it? It was like... Hold on. Teru said, I'm also curious if you're interested in making that. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what that was.
Okay, Cosmic, get the electric chair out. We're going to get it out of him. Here we go.
Start waterboarding him.
Luckily, we won't need to buy a big board.
Oof.
You hate to see it. Under 6 foot, you hate to see it.
It's all just going to beat off the forehead.
Dude, if it's not the height, it's the forehead.
I mean, I have the same problem, dude. What was it? The first day we were there, we were just like, we go way back, and we just lifted our hair. We just lifted our hairlines back. Yeah.
Where's the Rogaine sponsorship?
Really?
Fuck a damn Red Bull.
I need Rogaine, and I need fucking Listerine.
High key, if you're not already on it, start it. Like, no, seriously, like, fucking, most of you don't know it, but I did start fucking using basically the Walgreens brand of Rogaine a little bit ago. And by a little bit, I mean like almost a year. And it does take that long for you to start seeing results, but you do see them. So it's something to consider if you can't necessarily afford implant surgery, which I would understand if you couldn't.
Okay, yeah. Okay, last question, and it's just a really quick one. How you... Fuck.
Well, these are the conversations we need to be having.
Yeah. Look,
people
man,
are so scared to talk about, man, I don't want anybody to know I have a receding hairline. Bitch, you got eyes?
No pain, Rogaine, you know?
You know, I feel like ever since I started wearing my hair down, like, a little bit, like, my forehead gets bigger whenever I, like... Anyway, we don't need to worry about that. Next question. It's just a quick one, because it got announced this week, or last week, this week, about DMC3 Style Switcher. You guys gonna be copping that shit? I know you've got a Switch, Vash. How are you feeling about that?
I actually purchased a Brooks converter so I can use my DualShock 4 on the Switch. Hopefully hopefully it doesn't introduce too much lag, but all things equal, I'm not like pumped, but I'm like, yeah, dude, I can take some goddamn Devil May Cry on the Switch. Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Put DMC4 on that bitch. It probably can't run it that well, but just put vanilla. You don't need to put special edition.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm low maintenance.
Yeah.
We can meet in the middle.
I tell you what, I didn't believe that the difference between special edition and vanilla would be that drastic, but it fucking is, man. You can feel that shit.
I tell everybody. They tell me I'm smoking pack. You people don't know what you're talking about.
No, definitely you can feel that shit.
But no, everybody's like, oh man, do you really need the PS4? Because there's like, get the Switch Pro controller. If anybody can style switch claw grip on that thing, you're not a human. You're a spider. And I don't want to talk to you.
Okay. So the user submitted questions, lots of quality questions here. This one's from good friend Mick. When is Cosmic gonna speedrun Raid Shadow Legends, available now on PC and
Mac? What's the line? Not in a million years.
Our good friend Setner0x. For both, how was it like visiting Florida, and how long did it take for you guys to blend in with other fellow Florida men? It's a great question.
I like Florida a lot. Florida was tight.
It's weird. I'll be honest. No, when I first, when I'm flying in, bear in mind, I live in Las Vegas, so we don't know what water is. We fly in. I look to my right because I have a window seat. Poke my head out that bitch. Blue for a minute. Like, it doesn't stop being blue. I look to the passengers. Is that the fucking Atlantic Ocean? Well, yes, it sure is. I said, oh, shit. Y'all got agua out here. I get off the plane. I'm in the car. First off, that airport is terrible. Fuck that airport. People are trying to kill each other on those streets. Driving by, what do I see? We don't see fucking cacti out in Vegas. You guys got swans and shit out here? Like, there is genuine wildlife that is sustaining itself in this state. It's terrifying. Trees everywhere. Swamps everywhere. Fucking, like, the roads are kind of rickety, and everybody drives like an asshole. That's okay. It's near Disneyland. You're allowed. But the sickest shit from, like, where the air out here is dry as hell, I had zero dandruff the entire time I was in Florida. It was beautiful. I step off the plane, I'm getting flakes. I hate this shit. I want to go back. I'm done. Although, I will say, and Cosmic can probably speak to this too, it went from, like, what was it, 40 degrees Fahrenheit? When we first got there at the start of the week.
Yeah, because it was raining. Yeah.
And it was great outside. Not too cold at all. Excellent. The last day that I was there, Saturday, fucking like 80 degrees outside. But the humidity was hitting. Ooh, boy.
Dude, I was walking around.
Muggy.
I was walking around Universal Studios that day. Fucking, I was fucking done. I was like, man, I've walked like 18K steps today. Fuck all this noise. Like, but for the majority of the week, it was like beautiful outside.
Yeah.
So
then like,
go on.
Then I get back home and like, I mean, I was getting different kind of flakes than Vash. Like, it's snowing here. Like, you know.
So would you guys say it took a long time to blend in with the other Florida men?
What was it you said, Vash? We were bowling. We were
we were bowling out of control. It took a minute before we got lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
We didn't. I mean, if you count watching hentai as whiling out, we didn't do anything like illegal.
I was at Perkins at like 3 a.m, and we met John Wayne, and he was just like, "All right, guys, so we're gonna be sticking it to the man." And his idea of sticking it to the man was bringing us twice as many drinks as we had ordered on one tray, and not charging us extra. So that was pretty neat.
Yeah, I would go back though.
Yeah, same.
I would 100. I mean, the East Coast has Wawa. And
That's
I know,
true.
like, you have no idea what that is. Like, okay, so what are gas stations like out in Scotland?
Scotland.
Yep.
Scotland.
How are guests? They're pretty good. You can go there with your vehicle, get some fuel,
Get some gas.
get some.
Yeah, so imagine a gas station that's like basically a fully stocked, like, you know, snack department that also has like a little touch screen that you can order like chicken tender sandwiches on and shit. Milkshakes, smoothies, all that type of delicious shit. All inside the same gas station. That's a Wawa.
Yeah.
We don't have that shit here on the West Coast.
What you're
As soon as they put one
Go on.
As soon as they put one here, though, you can nuke the East Coast. We don't need it anymore.
Yeah, fuck it. What they are starting to do here is they're putting subways in the gas stations. Like just a fucking go get a sandwich, get a foot-long BMT with your fuel. So that's pretty good.
Shit. I mean, pretty soon you may have running water. I have no idea.
Nah, let's not get our hopes up here. Come on.
And give it a few more decades.
Yeah, centuries. Anyway, moving on. Got a question here from Dr. Shy Guy. He says, when's Marvel?
Dude, Marvel's a good ass game, dude.
That is a good ass game, yeah.
Oh man, Marvel's a good ass game. Wait, 3 and Infinite are both good. Let's just be honest.
Two's good.
2's good. 4 is never coming out.
Yeah.
He also has he has a serious question. Which part of AGDQ did you enjoy the most? Which part of the DMC5 run did you enjoy the most? I'm assuming this goes to both of you guys. You didn't specify.
Just tell us, Cosmic. This was your first event, so I'm curious.
I don't know. Like, I really enjoyed I guess the community aspect of it. Pretty much just getting to see everybody that I had met through the internet. So it's kind of the same reason that I really enjoyed fighting game tournaments for so long. Was the community aspect. It's one thing to talk with people and be friends over the internet, but then to like see all those same people in the same spot. Like, there's one picture that I have where every person in that picture is from a different state. I mean, that's not much of a loss, honestly.
If she took the Switch, I'd be pissed.
I was gonna say, if she took the Switch, that's one thing, but taking the Wii U, I mean, there's worse things to lose.
I think we're back.
Yeah, I think we're back.
Okay, great. Welcome to Run of the Mills Part 2.
It is my webcam on stream, right? It's not my desktop.
It's
your webcam. Yeah.
Thank God. All right.
Yeah. So what was I saying? Right. So, fuck. But yeah, it's very interesting how far we've come where social links can be cultivated hundreds of miles apart, and then we can all meet up and just have a fucking sick time. So
yeah,
it's pretty neat. It's pretty fucking cool.
What about your favorite?
Of course.
Sorry, go on.
I mean, of course, just like being in the stream room too was neat. Watching those runs live for the first time. That was neat too.
And what about your favorite part of the run? Did you enjoy the most?
If I were to pick one part that I was exceptionally happy about, it would have probably been Cerberus, the Cerberus fight. It would have either been the Cerberus fight or Virgil. Giving me perfect RNG the first time, but that Cerberus fight, like actually getting the one cycle on Cerberus live there was just like, oh shit. Like, damn.
Okay, okay, next question.
Well, do you want to ask Vash the...
Nah, who's that? Who?
That's a good question.
Okay. Do you know what the question is, Vash? Which part did you enjoy the most? Yeah, okay.
I think the best part was, ironically, not really being at the... Like, okay, so if we're talking about the week, the best part was easily going to Downtown Disney.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I was a little 5-year-old at that place. That shit was sick. They have a place called Build a Dino. It's inside a giant T-Rex theme. It's inside a giant dinosaur themed cafe, and it's sick as fuck, dude. I built Janine like this little fucking like red raptor it's perfect. I fucking love it, and like it was cool as shit. I never realized that there was a place on the planet that was just built for me. Cool. Over the actual event itself, though, so for those of you who don't know, I didn't stay on site. That was a pretty deliberate decision. And I don't know if Cosmic can attest to this, but speedrunners
are fucking weird. Yeah.
No. Actually, it's okay. If you excuse the fact that most of them have no idea how to hold their liquor, and like just tend to get really loud, and they tend to. I think the bigger problem is that they tend to congregate in very small spaces. So in GDQ's past, our hotel room, which would be Asa, my friend Dax, myself, a few other people, like we would all be in one spot. That would become sort of the party room because everybody wanted to come see Dax and BB and all these famous partnered streamers and all that shit. Which means that it would just trigger the fuck out of my claustrophobia. And like it just large groups of people all just talking at once, it tends to get a little overwhelming for me. So I didn't fucking stay at the hotel this time. Instead, I stayed in a 12-man Airbnb, but that's neither here nor there. The event, that part was fine, and that's really what I wound up enjoying, was just chilling out and vibing with everybody in sort of like a safer space where there was no fuckers, there was no people coming in just to be like, hey, what's going on, guys? You got any liquor? All right, thanks for the shots. I'm gonna bounce. Nobody did anything fuckery like that. So all in all, it was really chill.
What about your favorite part of the run? Like DMC5 run? Was it the part where you fucking trashed me in front of millions, huh?
Yeah, that was pretty nice. It's hard for me to pick out one set spot. It's just like the whole run overall was really good. The only thing that I wish we could have done differently, and this is definitely more on GDQ than anything else, is just how frequently we cut back to them promoting the FF6 run. The way that they handled donation incentives and shit like that, this event was very confusing and more than a little frustrating. Of course, everybody can tell me to shut the fuck up because they raised like 3.1 mil off the back of it, and if that wound up helping, then great. But it definitely felt like there was. The only regret I have is that there was definitely a little bit more that could have been explained, or just like more talking that we could have done and like hanging out and bantering. But overall, no, it was a blast to be there. It was good.
I actually skipped over the question. I was sorry. Go on. I'm sorry. Go.
Oh, you were just reeling for me blowing your back out?
Yeah. Were you gonna finish? Were you gonna say something else? No, you're good.
Nothing. I hate you.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, I actually did skip over the part where I was going to talk about that because it was a little frustrating. Like, I donated, I wanted to show my support to Cosmic. There was a little bit in there that said, Vash, give a wave. Didn't get read, so it got skipped for fucking Final Fantasy.
I wouldn't have done the fucking wave, dude.
You would have. You would have.
You also said F word to cancer, which I don't think they read that.
Okay, so I mean, I could have meant how
you could have just said heck cancer, like that. They would have read that probably.
So if I say F word, they automatically assume that I said fuck. That's.
I mean, if you just say that out loud, like if like, can you just imagine fucking Eternal Enigma saying F word to cancer? Like everybody knows what you're saying.
That would be awful. You're right. That would be awful. Yeah. You can't fucks with that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was,
it's just been like, what if you just said, what up, my N-word Cosmic? Like, and then what is Enigma just going to read it off because you didn't actually type it out? You just put N-word?
Like, you can hope.
What's up, my November? Yeah.
November.
But, I mean, that's fair, but it wasn't the only example. Like, it happened to Loner Hero, so there was a bit of that. Has the fucking stream died again? What the fuck is this shit?
I don't know. I don't think it died, no.
Are you sure?
I don't think so.
This man needs to stop buying his internet cards at the fucking gas station.
Yeah.
DK comes in and the fucking stream crashes.
DK crashing the stream. Yeah. Fucking up. It's back.
Nice, dude.
It's
We're
just-
in there finally.
It's dropping hella frames though. Apparently. Okay, there we go. I think we've stabilized. Capitan.
I'm just watching the KB/S go from fucking 8,000 to 0.
Boy.
When do people start watching us golf, dude? Turn these webcams off. Pick up the sticks.
Are you? What bitrate are you streaming at?
Too fucking high.
No, I think it's like 3,000. Let me see.
3,000 ain't bad, yeah.
What do you think? Do you think this is my first rodeo? Okay, it's 4,000. Let's. Yeah, no, there we go. But it shouldn't be dropping like that. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
If someone's about to catch some fucking feet.
He's getting DDoSed.
You know, feet aren't that bad.
Listen here, armpit night.
That's me, dude. You know, the truth of the matter is, and Millz, feel free to try this out with your woman.
Oh, jeez.
So what you do is you stand behind her.
Oh, boy.
And, wait, are we live?
It keeps dropping. I'm not sure what the fuck is going on. Hold on, let me...
All right, so they're only going to catch part of this. So basically, like, pretend this is your dick, right? The tip of the pen right here is the tip of your dick, right? So armpit right there. Oh, you're behind her still, remember. And just fucking go for it, bud. It's a great time. Recommend it highly.
I like how you used a 2-scale model as well.
Had to bury him like that, didn't you?
You know, this is just the worst thing that's happened in my life. Like, the fucking stream's gone from like 6,000 to 0. Fucking, I'm getting told to fucking armpit. Like, what the fuck?
It's not bad.
Saying you got a pencil dick, you know?
I mean, that part's connected, so I won't fucking complain.
See, listen, that's neither here nor there.
Okay, so what's actually going on with the stream? Is it fucking dead? What's like happening here? Is it stabilizing? I think it is.
Yeah, I think we're stabilizing.
All right, so now that we're back.
Are we back? Are we? Yeah, I think we're good.
I got nothing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck was the question?
I imparted all the wisdom I have.
If the time ever comes, I will fucking armpit. Okay, just trust it. Let's move on. Are you happy Single Cradle still lives on to this day?
I don't know. Millz, are you happy just going missionary for the rest of your life, bud?
Have you seen how white I am? Of course. Like, what kind of fucking question is that, homie? Of course. Nah, fuck that, homie.
Why people can be from the back? What the fuck?
Yeah, but come on. You know, I'm like a white, like, European. You know. What?
Yeah, it's fair.
Like, we're not Americans. We don't fucking, like, drop it in from the back. What the fuck do you think this is, huh? Jesus Christ. Nah, I'm joking.
People who apparently know how to party. Fucking.
Nah, listen, okay.
Fucking what the hell?
Listen, the day I lost my virginity was, like, the best sex I ever had. It only got worse as we went on. I swear, like my performances have just dropped and dropped ever since. That was the peak. And it's just been dropped from there. Anyway, I'm just ranting on at this point. Like, burst out in tears any second now. Answer the question, Vash. Are you happy that Single Cradle made it this far?
You know, okay. Here's the truth. I was going to drop the Single Cradle joke at some point during commentary. And then, hopefully, Cosmic was going to, like, freak out. And then I would say, no, Jimmy put me up to it. In reality, he didn't. I just wanted to make... I just wanted an excuse to make the reference. I didn't, though, because I thought about it. I was like, that's way too in-jokey. And if anybody researches it, I'm just gonna find fucking KO saying the N-word. Like, come on, man. Give the guy a break.
Keep it moving. Yeah. Like,
come on, man.
Keep it moving.
It's still incredible.
I remember telling a bunch of people at TGI Fridays about that afterwards, like after the run. I sold like.
Wait, you mean like the staff?
No, not the staff. No.
Oh, okay.
No. I just told some friends or whatever, like waifu was there and shit, like, because they didn't get it, and I was just like, yeah, so this is kind of what happened, and I said, and Vash in his just stone cold demeanor just goes, single credo. Like, I said, he doesn't break at all during that video, and Yeah. So they were all just like, what? That's where it's from? And I was like, yeah. And then I remember talking to Millz about it afterward. And Millz was just like, Vash could have carried you through anything after what he went through on that Capcom stream.
Yeah, fuck. After that, there's nothing that man can't fucking recover from. Vash attempted to... fuck. Yeah, that's...
all right. Sorry, I prepare for that situation at all hours of the day.
Yeah, and then I hit you with the single Cavalier on mission 11.
That's when I was gonna do it. When did it get dropped? Like mission 4?
It was early.
Mission 5.
Yeah.
That fucking donation got read so early. I just said, well, fuck, pack it up. There's no point. I'm going home.
Pack it up.
Fuck's sakes.
All right, so next question.
That question was from Mecha Mike. Thanks for that question. The next question is from One-san. I know you're friends with him. I hate him. He's a scumbag. He's too good at the game. Too good.
He's an alien.
Yeah, he's a fucking lab rat. I love it.
He's not from this world. I don't understand.
He said, where is DMC Academy?
Why do y'all want that shit? I'm terrible at the game. What the fuck? I'm garbage. Ew. Definitely not. Mm-mm. That's where it is. Okay, yeah. It's just like I had it all fucking. I had it all mapped out too, and I'm like, dude, I'm fucking dumpster at this game. Don't listen to me. Fucking somebody. I think it was Toyomo who was like, I'm learning Dante, and I want to fucking watch you. I'm like, why? You kidding me? I do a fucking delayed guard flight, like transferring the inertia through Helmbreaker, and like I pop off like I just had sex for the first time. I'm not a standard to hold yourself to. I'm garbage.
There you go, One-san. There's the answer to your question. Fucking never.
There you go, game.
Okay, the next question's from Foxcade. Says Vash, there's 2 questions. Vash, why is pineapple and pepperoni pizza the best?
It's not. Wait, Cosmic, what do you like on your pizza?
Usually either pepperoni or buffalo chicken.
See, this guy's intelligent. He's smart. He's big thinking. Pineapple? I don't fucking know. So, here's the problem. You can't put peanut butter on a hamburger or hummus on a pizza without people thinking you'll just put any dog shit into your mouth under any circumstances. Motherfuckers, like, it was like one of those bait Twitter posts where someone just sliced up a bunch of kiwi, put it on a fucking DiGiorno pizza and was like, chef's kiss. It's like, tell me why Vash would try this. I wouldn't, you fucking gorilla. It's disgusting. It's like ranch belongs on pizza. Pineapple does not.
And his other question is, how do you practice commentating live so good?
Well, here's an important note, and it's something that Cosmic and I didn't really talk about. We had discussed the idea of doing like a practice commentary run before actually going on stage, because I wasn't aware of where Millz, or not Millz.
You thinking about me? Huh?
Got to come back a little bit. Let's not speak his name. I wasn't aware of where Maxi was in terms of what he wanted to do, and I wasn't aware of where Waifu was and what he wanted to do. So the last thing that we wanted to have happen was me go on there. Like, what I was afraid of, and some people may remember this run, was I think Zem92 or somebody. It was some Jack. It was a Jack 3 run that someone did. And the couch was nobody who ran the game, and it was just friends. So it was the runner and the runner's 3 boys in the back, and they weren't talking a fucking word about the run. They were just booling and in-joking the entire time. It was hilarious because I knew all of them and I was good friends with them. But when I think about it, it's like that's like the other way you can have a fun GDQ run, because here's the thing. The one thing that was on my mind that I didn't want to have happen at any point was for somebody to come into the run and for them to just be like, what the fuck is going on? What's happening? What are these terms that we're using? Like, it's important to use like descriptive words for like in lore terms. Like instead of saying like a proto or a scudo Angelo, it's like what the, like before you've seen it, it's like what are these things? What is a hell Judeca? You know, what is overture? Even though it's on fucking screen, like what is it really?
Yeah.
You know, you have to try to explain it to basically people who've never seen the game before. And that was the approach that I had to it. That's why I wanted to learn the run, be like, that's why I wanted to route out what I was going to explain and when. Like, when are we going to introduce V as a character? When are we going to introduce Dante as a character? Because we skip over a lot of the cutscenes that have the transitions for them. So if somebody's just like, hey, you know, we were Chris Angel, now we're your grandpa. Who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Where did he come from? Like, what does he do? That was the approach that I took to it. And I didn't know if Waifu and Maxi, for lack of a better term, were going to take it that seriously. I know they're professionals, and I know they can talk really well. I just wasn't sure if they wanted to take it that, you know, they took it that seriously. So we were going to do a practice run. We didn't because I was lazy. And you don't.
It's hard to get, like, for lack of a better phrase, it's hard to get two dudes that have girlfriends and Vash and I in the same room and have us do a practice run. Like, well, your girlfriend wasn't there, Vash.
Oh,
so.
You're right. I was like, well, where's he going with this?
Yeah, no. Like, it's hard to get. It's hard. It would have been hard to pull Maxi and Waifu away from their girlfriends, and then get Vash, who's lazy. You know, and then
that's very true.
Like all into the same room, you know.
So that's, you know, where we were at with, you know, doing the practice run. Didn't happen. I don't know. I told myself repeatedly throughout the event that I was going to look over my notes, that I was going to watch a couple of the runs, like just in bed at night, just be like, okay, you know, just so I could refamiliarize with myself with what happened when. That's another thing too that's different as a style player is like I just play 2 missions. So we're like in the Clyfot. I have no fucking idea that V's coming up after Nero gets bodied by Urizen twice. I completely forgot about that. So, you know, I had to re-educate myself in the way the game breaks down chronologically. But, you know, I never did practice. You know, what else? Like every night, like I played poker one night and I got blasted out of my fucking like every night I went to bed drunk, basically, is the best way I can think to put it. Like I'm just fucking degenerate. What can I say? It was vacation, dude. Give me a break. But I don't know. I think streaming is really the big thing that saves it for me, because when I'm on there, I was just hanging out like it was a stream, and I was trying to, in my mind, I played it like it was a big raid. Like some guy just happens to have 100,000 viewers, fucking playing marbles and shit. Just host this kid. How do you do that? It's like, well, I'm gonna, you know, take you on this trip, and hopefully you'll be able to follow along enough to at least to enjoy yourself. So you don't practice. You can though. I shouldn't underplay that. If I was smarter and I was more driven, the commentary would have been a lot better out of me, because I would have had stuff routed out. I would have had stuff planned. It would have been a little bit less freeform, but in the end, more information would have gotten out, and maybe more people would have enjoyed it more.
I think freeform suited it for what it was, honestly. Because, I mean, maybe it was like the perfect storm of bullshit, you know, that just all coalesced into one location, you know?
Yeah. Because you can't... I will say you shouldn't approach it like, oh yeah, we're just going to sit on stage and we're going to fuck around and everything will be fine. Because that's how you get, you know, some of the runs past where you're just like, what the fuck are these people talking about? What am I looking at? You know, what is this game?
Bonesaw's run. Bonesaw's 100% Jack run.
Yeah, well...
It was a good run, but, I mean... do the first like 20 minutes of that run. It's just like,
well, you definitely don't want to run into a situation where nobody's talking.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to just have people filling dead space, but at the same time, you don't just want to have a bunch of people who, like, in private are super chill, but they get on stage. Like, what happened with the Guitar Hero showcase?
Oh yeah, like nobody was talking. Yeah.
Nobody was really explaining anything, and as soon as someone said the word "fuck," it was just tombstones on that fucking couch. For
did that happen?
minute.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and it's like, fuck, you're not gonna get shot.
Yeah.
Like, there's literally not snipers standing by to execute you if you say the fuck word on the stream. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
But if it happens, as long as you're not breaking terms of service, you're gonna be okay. You know?
Yeah.
It's hard to find that balance.
Okay, that question was from Foxtrade. Very, very well answered. That question was
fuck you, Foxcade.
Yeah.
Canada's not real.
That's true. That's very true. It's just a fever dream by fucking delusional Americans. Anyway, moving on. This question's from Keo. Said, as a person who has some stuttering issues or losing words, is there any exercise you would advise me to improve on this? For Vash, I think.
Yeah, for Vash.
Well, Cosmic can jump in on this too, because he didn't have any issues while he was giving commentary. In fact, he had a much more difficult job than I did, because he had to focus on playing the early game, you know, where shit mattered a lot more.
I mean, for me, it was really about knowing where, like, my downtime was, so to speak. Like, you notice that during the run, like, I don't know if anybody's gone back and watched the VOD, but, like, you notice that during the run, like, those V missions, I'm chilling. You know? Like, and that's not to say, like, nothing happens on those missions. It's just that those missions are very much just, like, take it as it comes type of thing. Whereas Nero and Dante is very, like, proactive. Like, I got to get this done. I got to get this. I got to go to this guy. I got to real impact this dude. I got to overture this guy, blah, 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 blah. You know, but V, it's like, you kind of sit here, you read the book, and you let the animals do their work. And then when they finish, when it's time for you to finish the enemy, you finish the enemy. Especially like mission 9, where it's like a couple of skips, a couple of fights, and movement. It's very easy for me to commentate something like that. Because it's mostly movement, you know? It's not like being in the heat of the moment, like boom, 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 firing off all this stuff. So it was like, and I mean, to take another example, like Mission 8 is a whole lot of movement for Nero. Like, that's where I dropped the punchline joke, because I had the clarity of mind at that point, because it was a lot of movement for Nero to be like, right, there's a punchline coming up. I can drop this joke here. So from a player perspective, it's really about understanding where your downtime is and learning to lean on your muscle memory.
And then also, like, I think my explanation of like Foxcade's question just now explains that I lose my fucking pace when I'm talking all the time. And I also have a stuttering issue at some points too. I think what helps is keeping in mind you have a deadline of time. Like, when I'm explaining something, I can turn on a mode where I'm just like, okay, get to the end of the explanation in as efficient a manner as possible. And it takes time to be able to work within that framework. And I definitely think, you know, training under broadcasters, like professional broadcasters, has helped me to, you know, hit marks, hit posts, things like that. So, and even throughout the run, I like explanations would run long in some cases. But that's okay. And even stuttering isn't that big of an issue. You know, I feel, because I work with a lot of people in voiceover at the radio station, people are way too critical of their own voices, I think. You hear yourself and you just fucking hate what you say. You catch yourself stuttering and you're like, God, how am I such a fucking idiot? I shouldn't be doing this. And that's not being fair to yourself. Like, as you keep going and as you keep, you know, practicing expressing, you know, thoughts, opinions, or just explaining something to somebody, you're going to get better at it. And if you happen to have like a tick where you try to find a right word and you can't immediately, so you do sort of stutter, who fucking cares? Like, at the end of the day, it's not going to make or break you. And what I've noticed as well is that, at least in a professional setting, your audience is going to find that charming. I think some of the most, and, you know, if we're just talking about, like, you know, public speaking specifically, some of the most memorable presentations at, like, games conferences and shit like that for me, and ones that, you know, I look back on the most fondly, are the ones where it's just some random indie dev, doesn't have good English per se, and they're just coming out and they're nervous as fuck, but you can tell that they're out there and that they're, you know, moving beyond their boundaries to talk about something that they care about, that they put a lot of effort into, and they do a great job because of it. And they communicate a love for their game, or they communicate a love for their product more than, like, a heavily scripted bullet point thing. But of course you can do that too. You know, if you want, like, a surefire way to ensure that you don't mess up on, like, a stage or in a presentation, take the time, set it aside, and just practice the fuck out of it. It's like Devil May Cry. Shit.
Yeah.
You can train yourself to speak however you want to, really, as long as you're willing to take the mindset of, here's what I want to sound like, here's how I want to be. I'm going to keep, you know, grinding it out until I get there. And then it's just really a matter of how much time you're willing to commit to it. So yeah, we're good.
I can definitely say that I would be more willing to listen to someone that stutters, but clearly puts thought and passion into what they're saying, over someone who is completely fluid in what they're speaking, but is shooting off at the mouth the entire time.
Yeah.
So I would say don't let it get you down.
No, be that's just a general lesson. Just be more forgiving of yourself.
Yeah.
In anything, like, you know, fuck, it's like Tiger Woods was shit at golf at one point. I only say that because, I mean, I know the dude ground his fucking self into the dirt just practicing all the time.
And also,
and it goes,
oh
no, go ahead.
He also had, like, the whole thing where cheating on his wife and fucking his back, and came back and won an Open. Yeah. So yeah. So
I mean, we could also, I mean, if we want to take that route, we could look at somebody by the name of Infiltration, but that's more of a reference for my friend Asa.
Boy. Oh, I mean, that's a reference for me too.
I mean,
yeah. But do you ever wonder if, when that lawsuit got dropped, his lawyer came to Tiger and was just like, "We're not out of the woods yet"?
Fuck's sakes. Next question. Devil Never Cry asks, when's Bonfire Lit making a return?
The hell is that?
What is that? Vash,
that's the correct. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Cosmic. There we go. We're moving on. It's never coming back. I'm not doing that shit ever again.
What's the origin behind the name DECosmic?
It's pretty easy, actually. So I'm from Delaware, so that's where the DE comes from.
Oh.
Yeah, and when I was first learning to play fighting games, I went by Cosmic Castaway, which is a song from the movie Titan AE. And it's a movie that I really liked as a kid. It was basically like, I don't know, you just have to watch it. Just watch it. It's a great time. It's Firefly before Firefly was Firefly. But then I got bored of it. I got tired eventually of how long the name Cosmic Castaway was. But so I just shortened it to Cosmic. And obviously you could go the other way and say, why didn't you shorten Castaway? Because Cosmic just sounds more like... I remember hearing a Tekken player by the name of Rain describe the way that he picked names was that he wanted things to sound fantastical, or like enigmatic in a way. So I thought that Cosmic would be better than just naming myself something very like less abstract than Castaway, like Castaway. So I went with Cosmic, and I just stuck with that. If I had the chance to like rename myself, I probably would have picked something less used, but it is what it is.
I think it suits you. I don't think I could see you as another name, you know. Fucking DECosmic is what it is. Okay, next question.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some universe where my name is like DE Androgyne or something. So, you know,
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like,
that's true. Yeah.
there's some universe where you're telling me that, but then my name is something different. You know, gets you think. Anyway, moving on.
Next question from N Neil. Never heard of him.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, fuck knows. The second part of his question's already been answered. It's about Vash practicing the commentating, so we'll just go with the... Yeah, you said a few times that characters in 5 were like a Marvel vs. Capcom team where Nero and V feed Dante for Faust. You also said during your run that the game was smartly structured. Could you give more examples of design benefiting the speedrun, and do you think the devs intended this?
I mean, I wouldn't even say like design necessarily, but like the devs didn't patch anything that we found in terms of like the skips and everything, because like we came out with all this stuff, you know, or like I shouldn't say we, because people that have not named me found it. But like mission 3 skip came out, mission 9 skips, like mission 18 was even found, which isn't really used because it's that useful. But like all these skips came out, and the devs just didn't patch any of it. So the fact that they were just like, yeah, just let it rock, that's pretty neat. But there's a number of intended paths in the level that allow you to just skip over stuff that the devs kind of deemed like, yeah, this isn't necessary to experience on maybe like a repeat playthrough or something. Even stuff like mission 2 pit skip, where you're like, you run across the crumbling road and then you can jump over the fight or whatever. That's something that from a design standpoint is cool, because the first playthrough, obviously the player doesn't expect that. They just expect to go over to the Nidhogg hatchling and go and fight Goliath, and then they fall through that hole, you know, and then on their repeat playthrough, they don't fall through that. But I would say the biggest example is just like the way the game is structured so that you can just sequence break as much as you damn well please. Mm-hmm. There are so many instances of the game, and you can see this with all the V research being done now with Skewer, is that like V can clip out of a with Skewer and then go to whatever fucking part of the level that he pleases, activate a cutscene, or like he can go to just another part of the level that he's not technically supposed to be at, and then you can activate a trigger, and the game will just carry on with itself like nothing happened. To contrast this, look at Brian Otto's control, where you'll see Brian Otto go out of bounds, and he has to hit like 7 different triggers before as he's going out of bounds to get to his objective, before the game acknowledges, yeah, you can go here. But DMC is smartly structured to the point where as long as we can clip out and find a way back in, we can do whatever the heck we want, you know, and as long as we go and fight the boss, like, boom, you're set, you're good to go. So the game is smart enough that it's almost like it's sectioned itself off or compartmentalized itself, where no triggers sort of precede one another. And this is really good for speedrunners, because then, like I said, we can just kind of do whatever we want. We're not held to some sort of standard of like, okay, you can clip out of bounds, but you have to make sure you hit XYZ 1, 2, 3 JFK in order to keep going, you know. Yeah, I hit that one on the head. Yeah. But that's really like the biggest thing, is that the way the game compartmentalizes itself. Apparently my voice is cutting. Very brief
I think
moments.
It's because, yeah, you haven't done it since you moved your mic, so I think you're good.
Okay. But it's because of the way the game compartmentalizes itself, essentially.
Part 2 of his question was, in 4, Proud Souls are refunded for Dante, but in 5, the pool is the same. Which do you think makes for a more interesting run?
I think that, and this is coming from someone that my general experience with the DMC4 speedrun is watching a lot of Loner Hero and watching a lot of Mecharazium, and I've only done a couple of runs myself because I'm practicing it currently. I think that Proud Souls kind of have their place within Force context. I don't think that that game would be as healthy of a run as it is without that refunding. But that's also because you can make the argument, well, if they were just red orbs instead, then this kind of thing. But we're not going to talk about the hypothetical. We're going to talk about what's there. In 5, having to actually commit to your decisions as far as rationing out the economy, to me is more interesting because, like, when a new skip comes out, for example, like, let's say all this V stuff that we find saves, like, 10 minutes. Then all of a sudden, does the economy become about getting V his tools as quickly as possible? You kind of have to decide. So then, like, let's say we have to go and math out all of the way moves save Nero time. Like, let's say we find out that without roulette spin, he loses 15 minutes, or whatever.
Yeah.
But then V gains 10, V like gains 10 or whatever. So then you would technically be losing 5. It's stuff like that. So it's like every time a new piece of tech comes out, we have to decide how the economy is affected. And in Proud Souls and Red Orbs, you never have to decide how the economy is affected as far as moves go. You just have to decide, is this move useful or not, like for this character at this given point. So to me, it's like there's a lot more intricate things, and that's why, especially with Faustat being in the mix, that was why, like, week to week even, there was a while where I was mathing everything out. And that was why, like, Sin Devil Trigger is not even used a lot anymore, because I ended up cutting the loose from the buy list at some point. And I was just like, this shit is not needed. And like, every fight where I'm using Faust on Mission 16, so get this, I'm only saving maybe like 5 seconds using Faust over STT, right? But in the movement sections where I'm not having to pick up white orbs to replenish STT for the next fight, I'm saving like 15 seconds. So it's like using the red orbs for Faust as opposed to using the red orbs for Luce. And then all those things that precede that decision culminate to like the late game and stuff. So that to me is like exceptionally interesting, because in DMC1, it's kind of that way too, is like you have to decide what is truly important. And what is truly important in that game is Holy Waters, Stinger, and Vortex. That's pretty much it. And in 2, you have to decide what is important. That's basically just Devil Stars and a couple of upgrades. And then in 3, like, there's no buy list. So having an economy that is this complex to this degree hasn't been seen in DMC speedrunning until 5. And that's because there's multiple characters plus an item that can abuse the currency system.
So you'd say it's more interesting to have the...
I would say it's more interesting to have red orbs.
And man, I could honestly listen to you just talk about it all day. Like, it's fucking good shit. And it's been very interesting to see how the 5 speedrun develops. It has been really fun to see, and obviously the new V Tech coming out just adds another big spanner into the mix. So it is good stuff. But we'll see what happens with that.
That's going to be the interesting thing. Is like in Human, I don't think it'll be a big deal economy wise, because we have so many orbs by like late game in that route. But well, maybe it might not be as like much of a big deal as I think, but we'll see. Devil Hunter. But now it's going to be like, well, where can V now get skewer, in new game? And how does that affect everything? Because, like, can you imagine a world where I pick V on mission 13 in order to clip out with skewer in order to just drop to the fucking bottom of the level and just immediately trigger the ending cutscene?
That would be fucking...
Like, that's wild, right?
Like Oblivion style.
But then it's like, what do you give up later because of those 35k that you spent?
Yeah.
And how does that all math out? To me, that's the interesting part.
Yeah, wait, skewer is 35,000?
Yes, skewer is 35,000.
Nice, dude. Hell fucking yeah.
And fucking promotion is 20k. And Royal Fork is like 50k.
Yeah, Royal Fork is fucking stupid. I hate the cost on that shit.
Okay, so fuck man, time is running. Time has run away from us. Fucking 2 hours.
Yeah.
Jesus. It's all that talk about my fucking armpits, man. It's fucking...
Yeah, that's true. So next question.
Next question. DECosmic, if AGDQ invited you next year, which game would you speedrun? And have you done any speedruns of non-DMC games?
If I were to pick one, I would probably just, provided I was actually good at it by this time, I would run DMC4, Nero and Dante. And I have done runs of other like non-DMC games. Let me actually pull up some shit. I've done some DMC adjacent games as well, such as Assault Spy. Shout outs to the poverty homies, because that game is just hella poverty. It's hella poverty, dude. The poverty. It's like the Melty Blood of DMC. It's like that poverty.
Thank God.
And I've also done runs of Killer is Dead, Zone of the Enders 2, Resident Evil 7, and I didn't do the full game of Resident Evil 7. I did the DLCs, and I have done runs of Vanquish. So, just pretty much all action games, but there's some non-DMC stuff for you.
And Vash, have you considered doing your YouTube podcasts on Twitch, not including Dinner with the Boys?
I have in the past, but realistically, I've had a couple of recordings that are going to go unspecified with people that, like, some recordings haven't gone super well, basically. And it's just been sort of a failure on my part for preparation, or just people not really being on, conversations trailing and shit like that. And it's just, it goes back to the idea of, do I really just want to make it be like however it's going to be is however it's going to be, and just have not no standards for it, but like you sort of get where I'm going with it. And Dinner with the Boys, honestly, is just fucking, it's a runaway train at this point. I've been begging for it to go down in length for months. But it never, like, we're always like, yeah, we're gonna, like, everybody's in agreement that it needs to come down in length, but it never fucking does. So that's the type of thing where it's just and also at the same time, this is an important note. I would be curious as to why we would want it to be live, if that makes sense. Like, the benefit to me of it being live would be for people to interact through the chat. Yeah. Something like that, to where, like, there's a purpose of the, like, to being able to use the live element to make the interview somehow better. And unless we're like, we're going to open up the phone line, so to speak, and motherfuckers in chat hit me with questions, unless we're going to do something like that, I don't really see too much benefit to it, but it's something maybe worth working out. Also, at the same time, this is something to keep in mind. Sometimes people say things in interviews that they don't want to be aired. Like, there's personal information or just something like that, where they're like, or they talk about like a private project that they're working on. They're like, hey, I would, rather this not really get out or anything like that. I want to keep this personal. Or there's not necessarily drama, but there's, just like there's discussions happening. Or, you could relate this back to what's going on with 5 Community Edition, to where people, want to keep some shit on the down low.
Yeah.
It's like, if it's, in a stream environment, I still want that information just because I'm fucking nosy. What do you want? But, but if they don't want that information out there, it's like, okay, let's do our best to ensure that people are as comfortable as possible.
Yeah. Okay, last question. What are your hopes for action game reps at AGDQ? I keep going to say fucking ADGQ like a fucking idiot. AGDQ, it's like SDT and STD all over again. After this year's showing, so what games are you hoping for? For me, it's Metal Gear Rising. That would be mine. What were you going to say, Vash?
I was going to say 2 things. First, I said whenever I go onto Community Edition, I always say I got to turn on quick STD all the time. But at the same time, for me personally, I want to reach a point where representation of action games getting speedruns in doesn't feel like a rare occurrence. And I think this GDQ was a good example of that. Like, part of me feels like when Cinnamon Bun got his Virgil run in, that a decent part of the the reasoning behind that was because DMC4 Special Edition had just come out, so it's like a new game, and they'll do this where game selection is predicated more on what's recent as opposed to what is getting developed at the time, because they're just assuming that the game is going to die out after a year. And obviously that's not the case for action game speedruns. So what I want for me personally is for there to be like, okay, this is an entirely, it's a valid way to approach playing the games, which of course it is. And I want, the games decision committee to be like, okay, these fucking titles have a place here, and a good one. People want to see these games played. We want to see DMC3 get a fucking run in. We want to see this stuff. And not have it be like, okay, it's here since the game's new. Now we're walking on eggshells and we're flipping coins for the next few years. So that's just me.
So you wouldn't mind what it is as long as it's part of the genre and seeing a wider spectrum of the games being...
Of course, I have my preferences. Like the Bayo 2 run, I'll be upfront and say I'm a little biased and say that every time like a game is predicated more on stats boosting items to, gun through fights a little bit quicker, I tend to lose interest a little bit quickly. But at the same time, fucking it has a place still. And if games like Bayo 2 can get in with a run, similar to that, then it's like, yeah, of course we can have a space for a fucking even more dense run like Metal Gear Rising Jetstream Sam's DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want, as long as if we can get a God Hand run in, that'd be sick. It's like just fucking these communities are there, and our runs aren't long enough to treat us like we're fucking JRPG players, where like people have to fight and scramble for a 6-hour time block to do a fucking Final Fantasy run, if not longer. Like it makes sense why those communities sort of struggle to get into a week-long marathon. But us, it's like we're pushing like what? Cosmic, would you say on average like fucking between an hour
and a half?
Yeah. And that's just for Devil May Cries.
Yeah.
Like if you were expand out, we can get some shit we can really work with. So yeah, get some more representation. I wouldn't really care what.
Shit. Yeah, I mean, like, what was I gonna say? Like Vanquish is like an hour and a half for like with DLC. Like the Assault Spy runs I did were on easy were both sub-hour. Yeah, less than 50 minutes for ZOE2, although ZOE2 was already there. I think that's kind of a hard sell. But to me, it's like there's always like those blocks at GDQ. And to me, it's the blocks that, GDQ is basically saying you belong here, or what you're doing is more important than these people that clamored for the spots. You were guaranteed to get here, like the fact that Vash was like, yo, are you going to watch the Sonic block? And I'm like, there's a Sonic block. And then I thought to myself, of course there fucking is, why wouldn't there be? And to me, it was really odd that they even put like Bayo 2 and I very separate from each other. I expected one of us to precede the other.
Right.
In this case, it would be, since DMC5 was new, I expected like Bayo 2 to precede me. And it was like they put Earth Defense Force 5 before me, which is still like, I guess, kind of a third-person shooty action game, like video gamey-ass game in its own right. But you have two very clearly genre-adjacent games to each other. Games that are often like, people are like at each other's throats like, yeah, this one's better than the other. And you don't put them in something akin to a block. And then it's like, they kind of did the same thing to BioShock, where BioShock was not part of the rest of the horror block. And I would call BioShock like horror adjacent, where you could use BioShock to transition from one sort of block to the horror block. And the fact that they had these things so sparsed out, to me, was very odd. And I would like it to be, like Vash was saying, I don't want it to be a novelty that these things get in. I want it to be like, oh man, I wonder what the action block is going to be like this year. I wonder what kind of race is going to happen for this thing. Like, imagine if like Maxi Waifu and I submitted a DMC HD collection relay, where like Maxi ran 1, I ran 2, and then Waifu ran 3. Like I don't want that to have to be a hard sell.
Yeah.
At all. Like I was saying earlier, it's like there are communities that are told by and large by the culture that's cultivated by GDQ and other major events. It's like, yeah, what you're doing is more important, so just keep on doing what you're doing and keep it moving. Whereas communities like this, we're told you have to sell your run, you have to hype us up for it. And I want action games to get to the point where people are excited for them because they know about them, rather than, oh yeah, this person hyped this up to me and now I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Shaky Bay for the 241 viewer host. That was pretty fucking sick.
Yo, Shaky Bay.
Thanks, homie. It was right at the end, but I appreciate it nonetheless, Shaky. You goddamn MMO player. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. There was one last question, a quick one. It was like, would any of us ever stream Neo? I mean, probably not, to be honest.
Probably not.
Wait, NIOH?
Yeah.
Yeah, NIOH.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? It's not a bad game. I just okay, me.
Goals.
Yeah. hey, rip to your dreams, but I'm built different. No, fucking that game tilts me the fuck out. Any Souls game does. Souls-like period. I'll go on, like, I'll do fine. I'll die once. I'll be like, man, I can run back there quickly. And then I just lose all my resources over, like, fucking 4 back-to-back quick deaths. And nobody has fun in chat at that point. So,
yeah.
If I practice it and I want to do it, I'll fucking do it.
I think I'd just break something. Everything I can get my fucking hands on. Like, where's the gun? The gun's destroyed. That's already lost its life. Who knows what's going to be next? The hat? Just rip the hat to pieces. I don't want to fucking...
Vash, are you going to learn the Sam run? You should learn the Sam.
I learned the Sam run.
Yeah, same.
Oh,
but
I thought you did.
My PB's... I don't fucking remember what my PB is. It's not good.
Did you ever get less than 10 minutes? I couldn't. I could never get fucking less. I
got sub 10.
You fucking son of a bitch.
Damn word.
It's not that good. It was like a 958.
Motherfucker. It's fucking hard, man. See, there's parts that are fucking so hard, like the elevator.
Brutal.
Yeah,
it's brutal.
Yeah. It's
Why isn't your PB on the page then? Did you not submit it?
I didn't submit it. That was like, I was very finicky about what I wanted. Like, I was much younger then, so I was like, I'm only gonna fucking post up like a PB in New Game Plus hard mode or in Sam if like I did good, and I never did good.
But you submitted to New Game Plus Human for DMC4 Vanilla.
Because I got the first sub 1, dude. What do you mean? I got the first sub 1, dog. Come on.
Sub 1 by menuing to Holy Waters and holding W.
If it was that easy, why did I get the first one? People have been doing that shit for years. Why did Karakov bite my strats, dog? Come on.
Because Karakov sucked?
See?
I'm just saying, the man was never anything special.
Oof.
Anyway, so...
I'm just glad you finished trashing people, Cosmic. You always come on here and trash people.
You're not shit.
Is Vash talking to his pet Yoshi?
Someone's got to be able to call the cops. Holy fuck.
It's nothing new. Like, I even said this to PVT, and he was just like, yeah, you're not saying anything. Like, everybody knows that.
But yeah, I think...
The man ran New Game Plus Heaven or Hell, like, or New Game Plus Human with fucking Holy Waters. Like, yeah, you didn't speedrun it. You went through the campaign rooms very quickly. That was about it.
True.
Anyway,
I'll stop fucking with trashing everybody. I need to take a nap.
Anyone else want to trash while you're at it?
Discussion.
Fucking So this guy named DECosmic, fucking that guy.
Oh, it's just the worst person I've ever met.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I still find it interesting that Foxcade had no questions for me, rather than having them for Vash, even though he said on Twitter that the DMC speedrun community needs to prove itself in some aspect. So once I got on stage, I expected to hear some questions from him, but I guess there's always next time. I guess there's always next time.
I love it. I love it.
Anyway, so that's it.
Yeah. So shout out to Shaky Bay for the host. That was really nice. Fuck, why did you have to host the one that Vash was on? 250 people watching this motherfucker. This is fucking bullshit. Couldn't have done this last time with DK. Fuck.
I mean, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
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 No pod box this time. It's broke. It's currently in the shop for repairs. It's a lengthy process. It is an old CRT TV, so these things take some time. What else? I reached 350 followers. That's nice. That's good stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking party in an hour when I have to go to work.
Good shit.
Yeah, 2 a.m. till 10 a.m. That's fucking good shit. That is just
damn. Yeah,
loving life at the moment, homies. But thanks everyone for tuning in, for watching us. I mean, I know I wasn't very active, but let's be honest, this one was not about me. It's never about me. It's about these two fuckers. So I mean, you weren't interested in what I had to say anyway, homies. I was just here to ask the fucking questions. See, I got Vash to wave. See, I knew I would. Thanks everyone. Thanks Cosmic for coming on, for being very descriptive and good, fun, great, for being the gem that you usually are. Hold on, Podbox not here because show is tanking and not enough funding. Millz is bankrupt. I am actually having to declare for bank. Like I said at the start, I'm on the run from the law. Mobile home. It's not the best place. That's why the stream actually dropped. The FBI were DDoSing me at one point, but they'll never take me alive. So fuck it. And thanks to Vash as well for coming on and just being a top lad, as they would say in these parts of the woods. Being a top man.
07 gamers, 07.
But yep. Bye everyone. Thanks for joining.
Bye guys.
I'll have to edit this, put the VODs together because the goddamn internet died. But it'll go on YouTube in a couple days maybe. But apart from that, peace out. Someone want to suggest the outro music before we go? I mean, this is just
Somebody want to suggest the outro music?
Yeah. Why do you always do that every single time? Like I'll say something, and you'll say it again, but like you'll go down here and you'll talk about it.
Down here, boy. We going down here. I am gonna request "Sad Tonight" by Chelsea Cutler.
Okay. Is that a good song?
It is some sad music. Did you want jams?
Nah, because I'm going to work in an hour, so something sad to just really help me, self-loathe.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm feeling this. Okay. Oh, it's pretty good, Cosmic. Anyway, bye everyone. Peace.
Bye guys.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.